tackle this front wheel arch. From the outside at least, I wasn't too sure what to expect, because I know there's a little bit at the front here that will need a little bit of remedial work with the welder and some steel. As for the rest of it, it's all completely covered under this black stuff, so it's just a case of digging through it. I've had, if I can find it in there, in this lovely little pile of rubble on the floor, which typically can't. Oh yes I can. That bit there is literally a bit of seam seal that's been put along that edge there. So fingers crossed, when I take, say, like a wire wheel to that, it's not going to start turning into holes. But I wouldn't be surprised if it does, because I'm not sure how thick that metal there is. However, if we look over here, I'm guessing, although I can't exactly understand why, although it looks like, oh maybe, yeah, maybe there's a seam there. But you've got this thick white stuff here that almost just seems to be like sponge that's been covering the whole lot for however many years. It's pretty damn thick, as you can see from that piece there. But so far at least, everything underneath that stuff seems to be quite nicely well preserved. So providing it all keeps going like this, it's going to be looking pretty good. I was told by someone last night that normally, like, where, as I said in the previous video, that, or one of them I think, that normally on a later car, like the Mark 2.5, the front end has a subframe, and the subframe then just mounts to reinforced parts of the chassis. On this car, you haven't got a subframe, everything is bolted directly into the chassis itself, and therefore you end up with areas like this where the body's cut to allow the moving parts to come through them. And I was told last night that they normally are hot spots for all the muck getting caught and all the grit just sitting there and rotting out. As you can see, the drive shaft one was said to be a real hot spot, and well, I don't know about you, but on video and I think in real life that looks pretty damn good to me, so I'm quite happy with that. The one with the track then comes through again, absolutely fine. All the way around here looks okay. So if anything, I think the worst place is possibly going to be around here, really, because that looks sketchiest, if I'm honest. So, but yeah, so far it's looking really good. So I'm going to crack on, and I'll show you when it's done. Spent a good couple of hours on this side as well now. As you can see, it looks pretty mostly solid, just like the other areas I've showed you. There's an area up here which is just beside the headlight panel, and that just typically rusts out, and this one has done exactly that. So this here is the outer wing just butted up against it. See if it'll focus better. There we go. So that's the outer wing there, and that's just a piece between it, and obviously it's perfect destination for all the salt and grit being chucked off the wheels straight up there. There is this area here that was hidden quite nicely underneath some seam sealer, I think. Whatever this white stuff is, which has been coming off. It's good, like mil or two thick in some areas. So, but yeah, I'm not sure what this area here might hold, but it will certainly be getting a nice wire wheel down. There's definitely some surface rust on there. This is the area I haven't got to yet, and I've not got to this horizontal area up here yet. What I'm actually debating on doing is taking the wing off to make access to that easier, because the wing's got to come off anyway, so I may well do that. There was a load of seam sealer down here. I've just spent a good 10 minutes pulling all that out. As you can see, the edge where the seam sealer was is orange with a little bit of surface going on, but considering the fact that this here was all flaky and I was really worried about it, it's actually perfectly solid. So far this car is really starting to impress me and frankly amaze me. Today we're in the near side front arch. On first look, I think you'll agree when I say that this looks pretty damn solid yet again. The side here where on the driver's side it's rotted through, this side looks okay, but I suppose we'll find when we start digging a bit and scraping off what's on top. But the headlight panel in general looks okay. Inner wing looks pretty good and strong to me. The front wheel well, or front footwell rather, there's actually a bit here that's been flaking off, and behind it, absolutely perfectly solid metal. The only bit up here that I've found so far is this is a little bit rusty. That doesn't worry me at all. However, obviously, to get a good look of all this up here, I'm going to be taking the complete exhaust system off, and it also means I can undo these two Phillips screws here which, if I show you under this side, removes this heat shield here that basically obviously just protects the body from the heat of the exhaust itself. Okay, so I've got this fast, as you can see. This bit up here is a bit of a queer area. I'm going to go over it with the wire wheel and see what happens. It feels okay, but it's just times where it feels a bit crunchy as well, so I'm not 100% sure really what I'm going to find there, but a bit of wire wheel I think should reveal it. All this, as I said before, is nice and solid. We've got almost very nice clean original stone chip up here in white, and what I'm actually going to do is I'm not going to sit here using this chisel thing because it just seems to take him absolutely forever, and that stuff is not very tough at all. So for that I'm going to just revert to the wire wheel on there, just make it a bit quicker. As for the rest of it down here, absolutely nothing that is concerning me whatsoever. It's just nice solid metal behind it. I've still got to do up here as well, as you can see. As I said about the other side, I'm going to take the wings off to that just to make life easier. But generally speaking, overall, this side is definitely better than the other side, I think. So yeah, really happy. It's rather surprised me, this car. Well, some might call this a bit of a surprise. I do too, to be quite frank. This side is the passenger side. It's normally the bit that gets all the salt running down the edge of the curb down here, and thus it gets splashed up and causes all the grief with the metal along the edge here. This is the wing. The bottom of that is absolutely fine. That'll just be a nice little bit of a DA up job. As for the A-pillar, well, I reckon a good wire wheel up and that'll be absolutely fine. So that's quite impressive if you ask me. This side looks all hunky-dory, so happy days on that one. Even the bit here's good. And again, you expect all the salt to be sitting along the curb in the gutter and then get splashed up by the wheel. So this side's done incredibly well, I reckon. Quite a cool look, I have to say. Look at that. Quite a cool look at it. Well, a bit of a naked one as well, I suppose, but yeah. Right. Take some more better photos for you. It's more or less, I'm not going to lie, it's just classic what Renault 5s always used to do, really. All the salt grit and everything gets lifted at the back of here in the rear, in the front wings. It just rots the A-pillars out quite nicely, and this one's done exactly that. There's a little bit of something going on in here, I'm not too sure what, but yeah, as you can see, that bit there is going to be a full-blown base, I think possibly fabricate the outer seal on this bit here, not because it's rotten, but purely because it'll be an easier way than trying to patch little bits and bobs in. So it must be easier to get make a whole panel and just do it across and then down in one hit, don't know. But this bit here is really solid because if you were to rub the stone chip off, it's perfectly shiny metal there. So that piece there, at least I know is all right. So, but yeah, up here is this main area here is not so good. Scraped all the underseal stuff up here, and that's not too bad at all. Might develop possibly some holes on this edge here where it's had a little bit of rust on there, but we don't know. A little bit to sort out on the edge here if I get some area out better like. So yeah, got a little bit to sort out there. Generally the inner wing isn't too bad really. Generally quite solid. Generally speaking, what we're finding is it looks quite bad admittedly, but it isn't anywhere near as bad as it could be. The inner seals, obviously we know, inner and outer seals down the sides don't appear to be too bad. This A-pillar here is remarkable compared to what the other one is, I think you'll agree. This, I've got a little bit going on here, which I've got to investigate a little bit further, probably get a good wire wheel on there. But generally speaking, given the fact the other side, there's no metal here at all, it's just all rotted through. This side's remarkable in comparison, I think. So, yeah. You got the nice passenger side one versus this driver's side one, which is quite a ridiculous comparison when you think about it. So, yeah, what we're going to end up trying to do is, I've spoken to a few contacts already. I'm going to try and get hold of a complete headlight panel for this side, which just basically involves drilling all the spot welds out around this edge up and around the side, purely because it'll be simpler to do that than I think than try and repair this one. I say that purely because if you look into this edge here, look, you've got all the multiple little layers all just blowing apart, and unless you properly go all the way into that and start pulling it all apart and repairing it all the way from scratch, you're not really going to end up with a good panel that's rot free. So I'm going to try and get hold of a donor panel that's just solid and rust free in the first place, so we're not worrying about the fact that there's going to be rust inside that's going to blow back out later on anyway. So yeah, this side I think you'll admit is definitely looking a bit worse for wear, but never mind. It's a Mark 1.5 at the end of the day, and they did like to rust quite nicely. This one's still pretty damn good considering its age and its year, and considering the fact that I've spent the last 3 years driving it in just about any conditions because I just love driving it. So, and all this in here should all be rotted out. So really, although it looks absolutely dreadful on camera, it really is pretty damn good considering even still.